When Harvey was touring with Mark Curry back in the day, he was raking in a mind-blowing $3,000 a show while doing 5 shows a week.
This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her, then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history.
Cat also stoked the fire by talking about the beef between Harvey and the late Bernie Mac. According to Cat, he too was approached for the next king of comedy. However, he ended up turning down the offer because he didn't want to end up in the same shoes as Bernie.
They came to me. I was supposed to be the 4th king. I got the offer.
Then what happened?
But I turned it down.
Why?
Because you shit on Bernie. And I know the truth. You think I'm gonna let you shit on Bernie and then come get me? I'm the next king? Why? Because the whole time Bernie was here, you was acting like you was funnier than him. The reason you was supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth.
Cat then took shots at the tour, saying that although the tour featured 4 of the biggest names in the industry, it was actually Steve's tour. Cat delivered the final blow by saying that Steve's career only took off once Bernie was out of the picture.
Because you can't beat the best. And until you humble yourself, you will forever be kinged by the king. And because you finally did it, because you had no other choice, and now that he gone, you gonna act like he wanted to be a movie star. You stop it. You stop it. That man was funnier than all of y'all, and y'all thought y'all had one over on him. You thought he was black and ugly, and you were good looking, and he couldn't make it because you did. And that ain't the way comedy works. The king is the funniest. Period. Every time.
Back in the day, the original kings of comedy featured the best of the best, namely Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, D.L. Hewley, and the late Bernie Mac. Together, these 4 men proceeded to set the stage ablaze with their comedic routines and on-point humor, particularly between Steve Harvey and Bernie Mac. In fact, the rivalry between the two is why fans never got a second tour, despite the first one being a massive hit. Mac accused Harvey of stealing his material, but that was hardly the extent of what Steve had done. During an interview with GQ, Mac pointed a finger at Steve for trying to steal his role in the film Ocean's 11. According to the rumors, Steve had approached director Steven Soderbergh secretly and offered to play the role at a much cheaper price. Talking about the incident, Bernie said, "I heard about that. I was told about it. You know these people. Are you surprised? Tell me, are you really surprised? It's always about him."
Where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star?
In a jarring twist of events, Bernie had a lot more to say, mostly in line with what Cat had to say about the tour. According to Mac, although the tour was meant to promote 4 men, it was in fact a one-man show, that one man being Steve Harvey.
The reason you were supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth. It was Steve's tour. Not it was going to be called the Kings of Comedy. It was Steve's tour. These are the guys opening for him. Of course you gotta close if it's your tour.
Bernie backed his claims by saying, "Go back and look at the Kings of Comedy tapes. Whenever he introduced his buddy, Cedric the Entertainer, it was all about himself. So yeah, I knew about it. Did it piss me off? Nah, you can't piss me off. You ain't that good." Not one to hold back, Steve decided to tell his side of the story during an interview in 2009.